Well, Kyron definitely. I just think he has that innate ability that if he can approach the line of scrimmage with his shoulders square, it's something about
Hmm.
his ability, his size, his stature, his explosiveness in between the tackles. Anything in the red zone, Kyron Williams is definitely going to get into the end zone. And plus, he can come out the backfield and he can catch the ball as well. He could run
Hmm.
a slant route, he could run a swing route, and definitely has the ability low to the ground, one on one against the linebacker out in space. Williams is going to take that every time. So I'm going with Williams as definitely being
Okay.
a score of the game.
At least one touchdown. Okay, that spins us forward to Priest's Beast of the Week, and we're going to focus on the two running backs, Kyron Williams and Rico Dowdle. Now, you mentioned Kyron is going to get into the end zone. You really believe that? Do you think he gets two? Does Kyron Williams get two touchdowns in this game?
Yeah, I'm safe to say that he could get two. Especially like I said,
Okay.
I think getting into the red zone, Matthew Stafford is going to get them to the red zone. I
Hmm.
think they will rely, especially being on the road. Once they get down in the red zone, they're going to
Hmm.
keep the ball nice and tight and secured and run the ball in.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Two touchdowns for Kyron Williams. Now, Rico Dowdle, is he getting in the end zone? Whether it's a catching touchdown or a rushing touchdown, because like Kyron Williams, he also catches the ball and does a great job out of the backfield receiving. So, does he at least get into the end zone one time?
When you talk about incentive laid contracts and knowing that if he's already hit six total touchdowns, right? And he knows,
So he's getting six touchdowns
yeah,
this game,
yeah,
is what you're
five rushing and one receiving. So if
saying.
if
Yeah,
if
gotcha.
if I'm a betting man and I'm saying that he has six touchdowns and he knows that he could get upwards of a $250,000 just by getting another two
Yeah.
touchdowns, I'm pretty safe to sure he has every intention of getting in that end zone this weekend.
Man, so the incentivized contract is real. I mean, we see this all the time across sports where it's a contract year or someone's looking to re-up, maybe they're frustrated and they just play out of their mind. They play out of their gourd and it's just another level. Um what was that like for you? Like did you ever feel any pressure when it came to contracts, your performance, when those things were kind of winding down or even just starting? You signed a new contract. Does that not make you get lazy, but make you sit back a little bit and go like, all right, I got the contract. I don't have to go crazy and get hurt here. Like where's your brain at when it comes to contracts and what happens on the
Yeah, if
field?
you could just picture this, can you picture a gazelle walking across the jungle, and there's a nice think you know where I'm going with
What is
this.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, I'm just trying to picture a gazelle walking,
yeah,
which would be trippy on
yeah.
itself. But I see where you're going with this. I
Yeah,
see where
you,
you're going
you
with
you
this.
hear where I'm going with this, and whether it's a
Yeah.
lion, tiger, it doesn't matter. Cheetah,
Mhm.
they're licking their chops, and that's one of the things that when they
Yeah.
laid out even the contract in front of me and said that it was going to be incentive based, for one, I was actually like offended, you know, um,
Yeah.
but I know that the antics of the NFL and that at that particular time they had probably the leverage. Although I was in free agency, they did have the leverage in terms of dishing out what they were going to offer out to me. But of course, they wrapped it in a nice red bow, and they said that it was going to be incentivized. And so for me, I'm licking my chops, saying, I know I have the ability to make people miss. You just put something in front of me in which I can see, and it's a target that I can directly identify. And you're saying it's
Hmm.
whether or not I decide to study the playbook, I decide to lift extra weights in the weight room, I decide to be on time to the to all my meetings. You're saying that this is a possibility that it's not going to happen. No, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen very quickly. And so my hats off to any of the guys in the NFL that have those incentivized contracts. It's due to them, when they put in the work in order to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. The closest thing I've ever gotten to an incentivized contract is, with my phone company when my contract runs out. But it's never good for me. There's never incentive there. It just gets worse and worse every time, Priest. It gets worse and worse. Okay. So Rico Dowdle, you think has the opportunity to get it done with this incentivized contract. Kyron Williams also getting in that end zone twice. I love it. Okay. Who's going to finish with more rushing yards? Dowdle or Williams?
When I think of Rico, he, I believe it's more of an explosive game that he has to have in order for him to garner the number of yards that he would really want. I mean, if you look at even this past season, his production, has been consistent, but it's been consistently low on the lower end of 30 to 50 yards, per game. And then you have those breakout games, obviously with the Cowboys and Miami, which really elevated his game. I'm saying that if I'm putting the numbers between the two, I'm going to have to go with Kyren Williams because he's been much more consistent. He's averaged more close to 75 to 90 yards a game. And, over the long haul, when you have a successful team who galvanize together and you have all the components with your receivers, your wide receiver, your running back, and Matthew Stafford leading it, I think he's going to have more opportunity than Rico will have.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to have to go with Kyren Williams with most yards.
All right. And we kind of alluded to this. Who's going to finish with more touchdowns? You believe Kyren Williams will get in the end zone one more time than Rico Dowdle? Okay. All right. So more touchdowns for Kyren Williams. And then how about this? This is a little bit off the beat path. How many more catches? Not necessarily yards, but who's going to get more catches between the two running backs? Do you think Dowdle's going to have more catches, or do you think Williams will have more catches in this game?
I've seen Rico on some of the extended plays where they passing the ball to him. And, I would have to just say that, I like his mobility a little bit better when it comes to catching the ball. But, I'm going to go with Rico on having more catches.
We got to give him at least one category, right? One category. Okay, with all this said, who's going to be Priest's Beast of the Week? Is it going to be Kyren Williams or Rico Dowdle?
Well, I'm going to go with the team that I know that's going to put up the points, and that's going to be the Rams. So I'm going with Kyren Williams. I think, with them having the record that they have, who wants to go and travel across the country and have that record, diminished by a loss, So I think that they're going to come in ready to play.
Okay. All right, you heard it right here. Priest's Beast of the Week is going to be Kyren Williams between the two running backs in this game, with the Rams taking it and going on to 10-2. 10-2, the Rams with Matt Stafford leading the charge. It's unbelievable. All right, Priest, I hope your Thanksgiving was extra special. You enjoy those leftovers today. That's the other thing about leftovers. You get to have them for breakfast. You get to have them for lunch. You get to have them for dinner. And if you're crazy enough to stay up late, you can have them for fourth meal. It is a long weekend, right?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to the great food. I can't wait to the great leftovers as well.
Yes. All right. Shout out to Bet365. It's never ordinary when you're with Bet365.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, do you have a gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only, 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, and select parishes in Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.